Welcome in, Chiefs Kingdom, to Cheifs Latest. Brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. This is your one-stop spot for everything Kansas City Chiefs in 15 minutes or less. Well, welcome into the show. It is your host, Calvin Silvers. Happy Friday. We finally made it to the weekend, and we are gifted an excellent slate of NFL playoff football. That's right. So what are you doing? You might as well download the Underdog Fantasy app. You can make some picks. You can pick higher or lower on a lot of player stats. It just makes the weekend a lot more fun. So shout out to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring today's video. Now we have an action-packed episode, including me answering a burning question that has been lit within this fan base. That's right. But before we dive into that, plus some other topics that I brought to the table, you guys know the drill. That's right. We are pushing for 1,150 subscribers. We're almost there, and I know it's you guys that can help us get over that obstacle. Listen, if you're not a part of the Cheifs Latest family, you're not a part of this journey that we are building together. That's right. We would love you on our side. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and also turn on those notifications because we have daily, that's right, daily videos here at Cheifs Latest, Monday through Friday. You don't want to miss any of the news, rumors, or actions regarding this team. So if you're not a part of the family, it takes 5 seconds. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, as it not only helps me in the channel, but it's going to help you stay up to date with everything Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the hottest conversation around the Chiefs right now is who steps in if Matt Nagy decides to move on, and three big names keep circling around: Eric Bieniemy, Cliff Kingsbury, and Mike McDaniel. Now, fans are split hard between Kingsbury and McDaniel, so let's break down why I'm leaning one way more than the other. Now, Kingsbury's knock is leaning heavily on air raid routes and RPOs, which can bring explosive passing and elite quarterback play for sure, but it does bring on the questions on under center looks and just a run emphasis in your offense. But the thing is, he showed some real run balance this year in Washington, so don't sleep on that ability to adapt. Another worry that fans have with Kingsbury: teams only keep him 2 to 3 years, which that's a valid point, but his first couple seasons, they always pop, no matter the team that he's on. Casey just needs a rebound spark right now, maybe someone to write out Reed's final years with. In Kingsbury's early impact, it's going to fit nicely. He turned Arizona from dead last in yards in 2018 to top 10 multiple years, and then he developed Kyler Murray into a Pro Bowler. Again, not an easy task to do. He's had better quarterback in Washington, and then we'll have his best quarterback in Kansas City. Now, first year in Washington, NFC title run, and tied second most in franchise points with 485, and top three all time in rushing and total yards in Commanders history. In the playoffs, 91 points over 3 games, and it was spread out nicely as well, with 23 in a wild card win, 45 points in a divisional rout, and 23 in a championship loss. Now, yes, McDaniel's 2023 Miami offense looked unstoppable as they led the league in total yards, and Tua topped passing yards. They were consistently elite as well in rushing, just their overall efficiency, and scoring with burners like Achane and Hill. But the Chiefs, they don't have that exact personnel right now. And I'm not sure McDaniels is going to get that type of production with what we have. This year, without Daniels full time, Washington still hit that 22nd overall in total offense. Miami, they synced all the way to 26, even with Tua. The biggest hangup for me is if McDaniel fits this staff, because he feels like the odd man out in my eyes. I'm not convinced that he's the lead the room kind of voice that this group needs right now. And I don't see Andy Reid handing the reins or Mahomes clicking with McDaniel the same way as they would do with Kingsbury. Now, Kingsbury coached Mahomes in college, as we all know, and Pat led the nation in yards and touchdowns those final 2 Texas Tech years. He knows exactly how to unlock his true talents. And at the end of the day, I'd lead Kingsbury over McDaniel with the proven early impact, Mahomes' familiarity, and just that creative explosiveness that we are craving right now. The most realistic and what I truly want is a Bieniemy reunion. But in this conversation, I'm leaning more towards Kingsbury. McDaniel fans, they do have some ammo though. It's not like he's going to be a bad option if they went that route. As back as Shanahan's OC in San Francisco, he ranked 13th in scoring, 12th in passing, and 7th in rushing. Now, Nagy's exit opens a critical offensive coordinator decision. We all know that, especially with Mahomes rebounding off this ACL. But Kingsbury, he brings that Mahomes-specific creativity and that proven fast starts to reignite this explosiveness, while McDaniel's run/QB-friendly history, it is tempting, but his fit/leadership, Those questions linger, at least for me. Now, either one again, I think would be a good option. It's going to inject some new energy that we miss. But again, Kingsbury's personnel tie, his early impact track record, I feel like that's the sharper rebound tool. It's going to be a huge hire for Mahomes either way, so we have to get it right. But again, if I had my decision, I would go with bringing back Eric Bieniemy. Now, a newer name has been bubbling up in the offensive coordinator conversation, but of course, it's not the flashiest, and it's Rams pass game coordinator Nate Scheelhaase, who's just 35 and already turning some heads in the league. He drew offensive coordinator interviews last cycle and is picking up early buzz again this winter. Now, Scheelhaase is the guy keeping LA's offense cutting edge by bringing fresh concepts to the room, helping craft wrinkles like that game-shifting 13 personnel package. The Rams wrapped up the regular season dominating key stats as Matthew Stafford led the league in passing yards and touchdowns while tying for second fewest picks among 17-game starters. Now, Scheelhaase works magic with receivers as well, as Puka Nacua topped receptions, Devontae Adams paced touchdown grabs, and back in 2022 as Iowa State's wide receiver coach, he borrowed McVay's ideas built for Cooper Kupp and flipped little-known Jalen Noel into a big-time college weapon. He's got the smarts, the pro experience, the teaching chops, and the track record to run an offense. If the plan is injecting youth and new thinking into the staff, Shieldhouse would be a sharp swing. So this would add a young, creative wild card to the offensive coordinator hunt, a proven innovator behind the Rams' statistical dominance and the receiver development. Fresh ideas from McVay tree without the full recycle, plus age to grow with the group. It's an underrated option that could spark the reset that this offense needs. But again, I don't think the Chiefs go this route. It's just a name that's recently been brought up, and I thought I'd like to, share it with you guys in today's episode. Now, football playoffs are here, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the gridiron action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. Get them right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. Now, this week on Underdog, I'm looking at the Green Bay Packers versus Bears game and selecting Bears quarterback Caleb Williams for higher than 209.5 passing yards, and Packers quarterback Jordan Love for lower than 222.5 passing yards. So, what are you waiting for? Download the app today and use promo code FOOTBALLFAN to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, that's promo code FOOTBALLFAN. Underdog. Make picks, win money. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. They have been a great sponsor so far. Love working with them. Again, those are my picks for the Bears and Packers game. Now, let's hit a name that we haven't covered yet as a potential Chiefs draft target, and that's Syracuse corner Deuce Chestnut, who the team met with at the Hula Bowl recently. Now, Chestnut burst on the scene early, earning freshman All-American nods and runner-up for ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year, so an immediate impact at the Power 5 level. Over 28 college games, he racked up 89 tackles, 63 solo, 5 picks, and 9 pass breakups. Solid ball production there. He plays with a natural feel in zone, plus that click in close burst. He also has fluid hips to flip and mirror and man, stays glued through the stem, and holds leverage very well. However, a downside is the undersized frame, as he gets out muscled by bigger receivers in contested situations. So he's not a first round guy, but with the Chiefs already chatting him up, he's clearly on their radar for a later round selection. The secondary needs some playmakers. Could he be the next developed talent? The Chiefs meeting Chestnut early signals some interest, I believe, in bolstering the secondary with instinctive ball hawking traits. As his zone/man feel and closing speed, it's going to fit this scheme very well, even if size limits him versus the big bodies. Now, again, not a premium pick here, but just a smart depth add with upside to compete for slot/outside reps. Another, piece for the post McDuffie planning if needed. So I just thought I'd bring him up because, again, the Chiefs are now talking to him, so there's got to be some interest in his style and in his game. Well, let's circle back to first round possibilities and spotlight a name that we've hit plenty here on Chiefs Latest, and that's Miami's Ruben Bain Jr. And not just because mock drafts love pairing him up with Kansas City, but he's suiting up in the national championship game. So, congratulations to him and the Miami Hurricanes. Now, Bain brings a sturdy build, explosive first step, and relentless disruption with 19 and a half college career sacks. It speaks volumes. You can line him up anywhere across the front with a nasty bull rush to K pockets, quick change of direction, flipping speed to power. I mean, these raw tools scream huge upside, even if his arm length isn't ideal for the NFL. Versatile enough for multiple alignments, strong hands to control blocks at the point, sets a rock solid edge without getting washed. He's a pure power player. This year alone, over 8 sacks and exactly the jolt a Chiefs pass rush needs after tying for 22nd with just 35 sacks this season. And Bain, he could help right away. And not only on third and long, but stuffing runs to limit those points. Playoffs, he's been dominant. Even back on December 20th in Miami's 10-3 win at Texas A&M, he had 5 tackles, 4 for loss, 3 sacks, and even a blocked field goal. He gives KC a D lineman who plays edge but slides inside too. Reed sees him handling that 0 to 9 technique. Spags loves moving pieces up and down the line. And Bain's heavy-handed, overwhelming at the contact style, it fits what we've targeted at that position. So Bain's championship stage, the multi-spot versatility, make him a premium fix for our thin, underproducing rush. He has the power to collapse inside, can hit quickly outside, and the run stop ability is just beautiful. If the board falls right and he's the disruptive force that's still available, yes, it's going to rebuild the defensive fear factor that this team has been missing when it comes to the pass rush. Well, that is all that I have for you guys on this lovely Friday. Again, shout out to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring today's episode. It was a great one, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. When it comes down to it, would you rather have Kingsbury or McDaniel? And then after that, let me know who your overall choice is. Because like I said, I would go Kingsbury between those two, but at the end of the day, I think I want Bieniemy back as the Chiefs' offensive coordinator. Well, I am your host, Calvin Silvers. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. You are listening to Chiefs Latest. And until next time, have a good one.